Hello, my name is Emily Wells. I am a land appraiser in the Fort Bend Central Appraisal District. I'm going to be assisting you with your Section 3 of the Form 5129 for your Ag Special Valuation Appraisal. So Section number 3 is describing your property description and your information. This information could be pulled in your property search. It can be found in our website. What we'll need is your account number, and that can be found here in your property search. You will also need your number of acreage. If you just recently purchased the property and you do not have an R number, you could put the parent account's R number, and you can also put the size of the property that you purchased here and the number of acreage. And then for the legal description, abstract numbers, field numbers, and or plat numbers, that can also be found in your property search, and that will be here. And you'll just copy and paste this information over into this blank box here. This box you could also utilize for properties that you are in conjunction with. So if you are using properties that you are leasing with, that you are using the Ag Special Valuation for, you'll just put here at the bottom, used with, and then you'll add the account number for that property, and in parentheses put the size of the property you are in conjunction with. So on the bottom here, I put used with R number 1111, for example, and then you'll put the acreage of that property as well. This is going to be the second part to Section 3. This is regarding a couple questions. So number 1 states, did the appraisal district allow 1D1 appraisal on the property last year? For this example, I'm going to select yes because I do have ag history. However, if you do not have any ag history and you are the new owner and you're wanting to move along with getting your property ag special valuation, you would select no. If yes, continue to question 2. And if no, you can skip to Section 4 and complete applicable questions. If the land is used to manage wildlife, you'll also need to complete Section 5. Question number 2 asks, has the property's ownership changed since January 1st of last year or since submitting the last application? For this example, I'm going to select no because the property has not changed ownership. I own this property. But if you have changed ownership of the property, if you just recently purchased it, you would need to select yes. If no, skip to question 5 and then complete only those parts of Section 4 and 5 that have changed since the earlier application, or any information in Section 4 and 5 that the chief appraiser requests. I selected no. Well, let's say, for example, I am the new owner and I just purchased it. The next question I would need to answer is number 3. It says, has the former owner passed away and are you the surviving spouse? So this is kind of based on your situation. If you are the surviving spouse of the former owner and the former owner has passed away, you would select yes. And if not, you would select no. Number 4 says, is the new owner using the land materially the same way as in the preceding year? And is the use overseen and conducted by the same individuals who oversaw or conducted that use in the preceding year? For example, if this property was under the ownership of a business that I own and now I am now putting it under the ownership of myself, I would still be considered the owner of this property. I'm not new to it either. So my answer to this question would be no. Another example would be if this property was under a business name or I were to put it in a trust, I'm still going to be the sole owner of this property as I was previously. So I would still select no. The only time I would ever select yes for this question is if I just purchased the property and I'm completely new to it. I'm the new owner, so I would select yes. And question number 5 states, is this property located within the corporate limits of a city or town? This information can be found within our property search. You can scroll down to our property taxing jurisdiction. And if your property is located within the city limits, it would state that on the bottom here. So for example, this property is located within the city of Rosenberg. So I would select yes. If your property does not have a taxing jurisdiction that's for the city, you would select no. And that sums up Section 3 in your Form 5129. So thank you so much.